Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1FM, and 990 AM, WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Southern Hills. It's time once again for Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams, along with the Colonel, retired Marine Colonel Jeff Drummond. Good morning, Colonel.
Hey, good morning, unfortunate Aberdeen. Good morning, Moore County. Hey, it's trash day in the Pines. Walk down to the end of your driveway and pick up that prepackaged, intellectually bereft pile of pollution and make sure it gets out of your driveway. Hey, be careful. You may need gloves when you handle that thing.
Really? You do with it what everybody else does with it. Don't read it. Yeah, I was thinking yesterday after a little attack on Leggy, I said, you know what he can't stand? He likes to go back and jump on his typewriter and become and abuse his bully pulpit. What he can't stand is, I got one too.
And you actually provide news through your outlet.
Right. Tear down the community, that's negative. Build it up, that's Steve.
Report actual facts.
Right. And point out all the misfacts that you see in the pilot. Which is a full-time job nearby.
Yeah.
Don't forget this program is being heard and seen around the world on the live video stream. That's available right now at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is where that link is located. If you're on a mobile device, you can get it too. Just go fire up your YouTube app and put Mornings with the Leader Man in there, and it should get you where you're going. Our results should pop up at the top. If you're on your mobile device just needing an audio stream, well, that's easy to get to. You put WEEB into your applications such as TuneIn and iTunes or Stream them. Those will stream our signal, so will about 100 others. The only one that doesn't is iHeartRadio, because they only stream their stations that they own. And if you're on our website at talk973.com, you can get that stream in the upper right-hand corner of every webpage where it says, on the air, listen live. Click that once and you're listening just that quick. Partly cloudy today, will be a high of 51. Tonight, mostly cloudy. Slight chance of an isolated shower moving through tonight. Look for a low of 35. That means if you wash your car, you'll get wet. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, 51 again. Clear tomorrow night, 32. Friday, we got a 30% chance of isolated showers. Otherwise, partly cloudy, and 50. Same as holds true Friday night, but a 50% chance of getting wet. Low of 38. And Saturday, partly cloudy, scattered showers, 52. Sunday, all sunshine, and a high of 57. Right now, around the Sand Hills, winds are calm, visibility 10 statute miles, pressure is 3009, dew point 28, humidity 96%. It's cloudy and 29 degrees currently here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. That song never gets old, at least to me.
No, that's a fun song. Yeah. I like that. Hey, the Rubber Band Man that played, he played him in a couple of commercials. I think he was on a TV show for a while. He was pretty good, too, I thought.
Okay, it's 7:33, 33 past the hour. The extended Zoom-Out Zone comes your way next hour. In the meantime, world-class entertainment to fill your ears with.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I got so much to choose from.
Yeah, John, I guess he's got to start walking here just pretty soon. Otherwise, he's not going to make it in time.
There's a 96-year-old woman in Canada named Jean Moffat who never got to go to college because her parents only had enough money to send her brother. So instead, she became an expert ham radio operator. And last week, she got to check off the biggest bucket list item by using a ham radio to talk to the astronauts on the International Space Station. Oh, she called it the highlight of her life, even though the connection wasn't the clearest.
Cheerio Science Center and the manifestation of a bucket wish I've had for many, many years. This is very exciting to me. This is Victor Echo 3, Oscar Sierra Charlie. Would you come in again, please?
Really honored to be the one talking to you.
Absolutely, the highlight of my life. I wish I could have understood what the commander was saying.
Oh, dear. I got a little bit of it. But
Well, you know how they are. They got to stick that damn microphone halfway through their mouth, and it makes them sound better, with gonads and.
Yeah.
And but if they took the mic just a few inches away, it would sound so much better.
Well,
it's not like it's noisy outside. You're in space.
Yeah, usually pretty quiet up there.
Let's see here. The first Super Bowl was January 15th, 1967. I think it was called World Bowl then, wasn't it?
Yeah, the first two had some long, extended name, and then somebody finally coined Super Bowl. I can't remember all the history of that. But.
Anyway, two networks broadcast the game since both had deals with one of the two leagues.
Right.
NBC with the AFL and CBS with the NFL. But both networks taped over the historic broadcast.
Oh.
Why, you say? Well, here's some audio from the documentary that is still in the works. This is Troy Halp, owner of the only known recording of the game, and Jerry Kramer, a Green Bay Packer who played in the game.
Yeah.
In Los Angeles, the first Super Bowl game puts the Packers against the Chiefs.
When the game was held in 1967, nobody thought that Super Bowl I would become the event that it is today.
This first meeting between the champs of the NFL and the AFL.
It's disbelief, knowing what the game has become. And they did what with it? They taped over it?
The first broadcast, what every single American saw.
It was actually taped over purposefully with soap operas.
The days of our lives.
The VHS or beta wasn't available to people at that time. Both copies from two separate entities felt it wasn't worthy of keeping and erased them.
This game meant so much.
I have a copy. How much is it worth?
A lot.
Yeah, I did my film. I set my players where I wanted them and then kept the electricity on.
Yeah, there you go.
That was a horrible game.
Yeah, well.
All right, the best of the late night units from TV.
All-new episode of The Bachelor, and the girls were pretty surprised when Chris Harrison told them they were going on a group date to Cleveland. At first, they were like, this isn't a romantic date, this is a layover.
So, Felicity Huffman and her daughter wore masks at the airport to protect them from the coronavirus. Either that or she's trying to get her daughter into med school.
Justin Bieber just released a 10-part docuseries on YouTube. Yeah, you can either watch 10 YouTube videos or 4,800 TikToks.
A New York woman has admitted that she is responsible for sending her boyfriend to the emergency room 24 times last year by secretly putting pesticides in his food. When he asked the doctor what it'd take for that, she said, the hint.
All right.
That would be pretty much a hint.
All right, it's time for our announcer who tries his best to update us on Sunday Super Bowl 54. Got a little bit of attention deficit disorder, I think.
And now, a message from Attention Deficit Disorder Announcer.
Don't forget that Super Bowl 54 in Roman numerals is LIV. It looks like live. Which makes me think of Liv Tyler, the daughter of Steven Tyler of Aerosmith, who just rocked the Grammys. Although Liv was actually raised by Todd Rundgren. Oh, and Liv is known for her acting roles in The Lord of the Rings, Armageddon, and more recently as Brad Pitt's wife in the movie Ad Astra, which was so boring. I didn't want to live. So, enjoy Super Bowl LIV. Or live.
This has been a message from Attention Deficit Disorder Announcer.
Okay. Oprah having a birthday today. Do you know how old she is?
I don't know. She's been around forever, so, 105.
Now, seriously, what would you guess?
I don't know. She's 70.
66.
66, okay.
Yeah. Missed it by 4. By 2007, she was ranked the most influential woman in the world, and today she's still considered the queen of all media. So, happy birthday, Oprah.
I'm Oprah Winfrey, and welcome to the very first National Oprah Winfrey Show! All right, open your boxes. I want to get the whole country reading again. If you can believe in yourself and believe that this is the most important thing in your life, you can conquer it. I won't say goodbye. I'll just say, until we meet again.
Here's the little fine print on that. You get a car, and you get a car, and you get a car. After you pay California $13,000 in taxes. Yeah. All for good, only for today.
Right. Well, you don't have to take the car.
That's what I mean.
People complaining. Yeah.
We did that. Here's a good one. There's a MMA fighter in Seattle named Ben Fedor who dresses up as a superhero and goes out at night and fights crime. Sounds like the movie Kick-Ass, where all these normal high school kids became superheroes. Anyway, and he calls himself Phoenix Jones. But now he's facing charges after an undercover cop caught him selling drugs, especially Molly's. Here's part of the profile ESPN did on him a few years ago, where he talks about fighting crime.
I'm Phoenix Jones. I'm also Ben Fodor. I'm just like everyone else. The only difference is that I decided to make a difference and stop crime in my neighborhood, in my area. I intend to keep making that difference.
You can question what I'm saying. You can question whether I'm actually effective. You can question whether the word superhero is the right word. But you can't question that there's a guy in a suit running around actively stopping crime. You can't question it anymore.
Yeah, we can, because you're not out there actively stopping crime. You're actively out there causing crime.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole superhero thing's kind of passé, if you ask me. I don't know, with all the movies and all the rest of the junk.
From what would you do if you were in this situation? A guy in Naples, Florida, gave his house a very abstract paint job. And it's putting it nicely. It basically looks like he just threw 20 different paint colors on the outside walls, and the neighbors are angry because it lowers the value of their homes in the neighborhood. But a lawyer says suing to make him repaint could take years.
I absolutely can't believe someone would do something like this. I've just never seen anything like this in my life.
I have an investment in a community and I've spent $500,000 on a home. I don't want someone to have a house like that that's going to bring down the value of the neighborhood. I'm sure if the neighbors say, look, we want this fixed right away, litigation doesn't guarantee you that. Litigation could take years.
I don't get it. I don't get it at all why someone would go to this extreme.
Well, you know what? It's the same thing with the Communist Socialist Democratic Party. Why do they want to tear the place up? Why would somebody want to paint their house and do weird? You know, it's just the whole thing's just, no, there's no rhyme or reason to it.
I'm looking at the picture of the house.
Yeah.
And, he even painted the lawn abstract.
Yeah, I don't
looks
know.
like graffiti all over the lawn. This mailbox looks like a third grade did it.
Sure, yeah, why not?
Yeah, I'd be upset too. Look at that crap. Thank you for moving into the neighborhood. We need diversity.
There you go. Hey, that would be my thing. Hey, why not? Sure.
Pete Buttigieg, he wants diversity in his campaign with his staffers, and he ordered 40% of the those on his staff to be non-white.
Oh, good for him.
And also and it's already caused some backlash. They say the staff is not very functional at all because they're worried about not stepping on each other's feelings.
Exactly. Go figure.
Yeah, and they even put out a questionnaire to their own staff saying, please answer these questions only if you're non-white. And one of the questions was, have you ever been interrupted, talked over, or ignored in a conversation with a white?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Mm.
And he wants to be president.
No. Well, he's what's his father's actually a Muslim or something. So his whole background is screwy. So he's a weirdo.
Yep. Ordinarily, I don't do bits like this, but this is a older senior citizen.
Mm-hmm.
A British talk show called This Morning interviewed an 80-year-old woman about her love life.
Oh, dear.
She recently started dating a 35-year-old man, and their first encounter was, in her words, pretty rough. Because nobody had been with her in 35 years. She added that we'll let her tell what they did.
Pretty rough.
Let me start over because I didn't have the volume up. Here we go.
Nice. Oh, the first night, pretty rough. It was rough. Nobody had been near me for 35 years. I thought I was a virgin again. Can I say what we used? A whole tube of KY jelly? Oh.
Yeah, you can say that.
And the thing is, I couldn't walk the next day. I felt as if I'd been riding a horse. Saddle sore wasn't in it. We got over that. The sex is not the important thing.
Right.
Because I can't sleep with him. You get an elbow in the face, a knee in the back.
And this is just
always terrible.
This is on the BBC.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. They've lost it. Well, we've lost it too.
Yeah. She summed up a lot of things there. Sex isn't everything in a relationship. It's got to be a lot more. But it can be nice. All right. The survey found the favorite beers for Super Bowl fans are
Budweiser.
First team was Bud Light, and then Budweiser, followed by Corona, Sam Adams, and Coors. You remember this old Budweiser commercial?
Budweiser.
Yeah. Yes, unfortunately I do.
From our good news file this morning, a guy in Canada found 3 kittens frozen to the road after someone abandoned them in the snow. And he had to use some warm coffee to set them free. Then he took them to a shelter, and someone immediately adopted all 3. Now a video of him saving them has gone viral.
Look at these little guys. It's all right. Okay. You're frozen with the ice. You've been here all night. Oh, man. There you go. You're good. Don't drink the coffee. Here, let me have it.
Okay. Anything else? No, that's about it. All right, some things we need to know today so we don't sound stupid, which is too easy to do. Meghan Markle, now the former Her Highness, her dad is threatening to start doing monthly interviews about her if she doesn't call him.
Okay.
I want some of that money, girl.
Yeah, probably.
In Sioux Falls, a Walmart parking lot had really iced over so much that whenever people tried to walk on it, they would slip and fall.
Yeah.
One man observing this knew exactly what to do. When he saw someone that was about to walk on the icy parking lot, he would play the Benny Hill theme song, at least until they fell.
Nice. How about telling them? How about warning them?
Police were called in and arrested the guy, but not until after a short chase while the song was playing. A poll says nearly 1 in 4 Americans are cutting back on eating meat.
Oh, my.
Good. Maybe it'll drive the price of meat down. Sony Pictures Television will not bring back rookie talk show The Mel Robbins Show for a second season. The company confirmed this yesterday. The show's season concludes in early September. Never heard of it. Doubt I'll miss it.
No.
Hunter Biden has agreed to start making child support payments to that woman in Arkansas who claimed that he was the father of their child.
What a moron.
And the DNA proved it. And then she subpoenaed all his bank records and whatnot for 3 years, and to keep from having to cough that up, I guess it's cheaper to pay her. I don't know how much he's paying her, but...
It's going to be a lot. And then pretty soon he's not going to have anything, so she ain't going to have anything.
Well, that'll break my heart, won't it? Yeah. Not. By the way, if you're keeping score at home, the Grammys had the lowest ratings in 12 years on Sunday night.
They were Sunday night, and I missed it.
Oh, gee. People patting themselves on the back.
You should have told me. I could have...
In Florida, police had to be called in after 5 guys broke out into a fight at a 5 Guys hamburger joint. Seems kind of repetitious, but...
Yeah, well, what are they fighting over, the french fries?
Probably who gets the ketchup.
Yeah.
Somebody used it all. Today's impossible question. The average American will use 20 gallons of this in their lifetime.
20 gallons of this. Toothpaste.
Bingo.
Yeah. I knew eventually I'd get one of these.
I was going to help you out and say you'd find this item in the bathroom.
Unless you live in West Virginia, right?
Yeah. Well, you know the old saying, that's where the toothbrush was invented.
Right.
If they invented it in any other state, it'd be called the teeth brush.
Yes. There's somebody from West Virginia out there just grinding his tooth right now.
Oh, we pick on North Carolina, too, and I'm from North Carolina.
Yeah, everybody gets picked on.
Yeah. What did the North call the South? You born and raised.
I don't.
In the North. You bound to heard it from the...
No, just
kids in
southern states, southeast, below the Mason-Dixon. I don't know. There wasn't any animosity there that I remember.
Those damn Confederate rebels?
No. You
were around during the Civil War?
No. No, I had plenty of ancestors that were, though. I don't know. Growing up, I don't remember any particular insults or anything directed towards Southerners. You might have heard the term redneck or something now and then, but I'm not sure that really applied strictly to Southerners.
Well, we would call you damn Yankees.
Yeah, I know. When the first time I came down here, first time over there at Lejeune, I got a lot of that. I was kind of surprised.
From our Did You Know category, potato chips are the most dangerous food to eat while driving. Number 2 on the list, hot soup.
Well, that one I can see. How come potato chips would be the most dangerous food to eat while driving? I can't imagine why they would be.
I don't know, except when you drop them and you're going after them or something.
Or your greasy fingers and then your hands slip on the steering wheel or something.
Could be. If you're over 40, chances are you eat yogurt twice as often as you did when you were a kid. 89% of people have never used frequent flyer miles. So they dole them out and nobody collects on them.
I used them, and then I don't fly much anymore. I tried to give them away. I said, it's like 10 years. I still get these things on these frequent flyer miles.
Study found that 3% of people say that they have checked their work email in the pool while on vacation.
In the pool?
Yeah.
Check your email while you're in the pool on vacation.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah, you can do it with your phone, and it's waterproof to a certain degree. I wouldn't do it.
No.
According to one researcher, in fact, I can't do email on my phone because I get so much spam.
Right.
I mean, I get over 6,000 pieces of spam a day. You know, my phone be going off all day long.
Yeah, there's certain things I don't do on the phone. That's one of them.
According to one researcher, the single most persuasive word you can use at work is
please.
Yeah.
Yeah, you asked that. That one was in there already. I remember that one.
30% of adults admit they've dressed while driving to save time. Yeah, and I always seem to be able to seek them out and get behind them.
Get dressed while they're on their way to work? Get out of here.
AskMen.com says 60% of men are nostalgic for the days when a handshake meant something in business. Yeah, I remember those days where your word was your bond. And you didn't ever break your word.
Yeah.
You can burn up to 200 calories while watching a horror film more than any other genre.
Yes, this is a repeat. You sure you...
I'm on the right day.
All right. They're repeating on you then. I remember that one too.
Okay. Back over here. Got a couple minutes to go, and we got John next hour. So here's some random facts for today. Qatar is the only country that starts with a Q. Iraq is the only country that ends with a Q.
And they're both in really bad places.
Yep.
In the bad place, I guess you could say.
The phrase "throw me under the bus" has only been around for a few decades. First time someone used it to describe sacrificing someone for selfish reasons was in an article of the Times of London in 1982.
Really?
Yep. The word female is not based on the word male. It comes from the Latin words masculus, and female comes from the French word famille, or famille.
Oh, so
I don't speak French.
So is it okay to say female now, I guess, hopefully?
I think.
Jeez, I didn't know that.
Emma Thompson is the only person who won an Oscar for both acting and writing. She won Best Actress for Howard's End and Best Adapted Screenplay for Sense and Sensibility.
Didn't watch either one.
And a hole-in-one on a par 5 in golf is called what?
Oh, gee, somebody just told me this about I can't remember. I'm not a big golfer. It
must be a real short par 5 is all I can say.
no, my father almost did it. It was a downhill, man. It was like a 500-some-odd yard par 5, but it was hard, green, and it was straight, and it rolled up on the green, and it was within about 6 feet of the hole.
And he went away with a par, did he?
No.
Or putted the green.
Oh, no, man. I'll tell you what. He'd carve you to pieces if he played you. He's 80 years old and shot a 79 on number 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yes, he was a good golfer.
Almost as good as me.
Yeah. You better hope so.
Yeah, I had to make that tough decision. Go pro or go in business.
So what do you call is it not a double eagle, is it?
Well, no, it's considered the hardest thing to do in golf, and there's never been one in a pro tournament.
Right.
It's called a condor.
A condor.
C-O-N-D-O-R.
I know what I'd call it, but I can't say it on the radio. And it would be too
Holy crap!
Something like that.
Yeah. All right, coming up on 8 o'clock, Don will join us next hour. Here's your weather.
This afternoon, we're likely to see those clouds build in for us, and high temperatures will head into the mid-40s and lower 50s. A few scattered showers will be possible, especially for our western and southern counties as we get into the night. Otherwise, gradual clearing will take shape by tomorrow morning. Highs by the afternoon on Thursday will top in the mid-40s and lower 50s. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
Broadcasting from the top of the North Carolina Sand Hills, 97.3FM, 104.1FM, and 990 AM. WEEB, Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Jeremy House. President Trump's impeachment trial is shifting to questions from senators. And Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell privately told senators he doesn't yet have the votes to brush back Democratic demands for witnesses. Also on srnews.com, former Arizona Congressman J.D. Hayworth says he has concerns about the kinds of questions which the Democrats will pose.
Basically, the Democrats are going to caucus and they're going to try to write questions in the fashion, is the president still beating his wife? So there's going to be a heavy dose of politics rather than informational questions.
Hayworth spoke with the Salem Radio Network. President Trump is resisting calls by Democrats for additional witnesses in the Senate impeachment trial.
The Trump legal team is hoping to end the trial as soon as possible, but senators could vote to hear from additional witnesses, which would prolong the proceedings. President Trump claims Democrats will never be satisfied. He tweets that no matter how much information is given, it will never be enough for them. He says they will always scream unfair. The president adds that the impeachment hoax is just another con job. Greg Clugston, Washington.
In New Jersey last night, President Trump capped off a busy day by heaping praise on the newest Republican member of Congress and savaging Democrats he said are engaged in, quote, demented hoaxes like his impeachment trial. The president spoke to an enthusiastic audience in support of Representative Jeff Van Drew, who recently left the Democratic Party after breaking ranks over impeachment. President Trump will sign the renegotiated North American Free Trade Agreement today. It's a major rewrite of the rules of trade with Canada and Mexico. Mr. Trump made the agreement a priority during his 2016 campaign. More on these stories at townhall.com.
The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
My story begins with debt, a lot of debt, credit card debt, and I heard a commercial for Trinity. I gave them a call.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
When I first called, I was a little embarrassed and kind of ashamed, and I looked at the numbers, and I saw how quickly that astronomical debt that was in my life would go away.
Trinity will consolidate your accounts into one easy-to-manage monthly payment, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands.
What I would tell other people, please pick up the phone and call Trinity. Just let them put together a program and see how affordable and easy it is to pay off your debt.
Call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.
An increase in demand and a decrease in supply results in an acceleration in U.S. home prices.
Home values rose 2.6% in November from a year earlier. The S&P CoreLogic Case-Shiller 20-City Home Price Index says that's up from a 2.2% annual gain in October. The average 30-year fixed mortgage rate fell to 3.6% last week, nearly a point lower than a year ago. And the number of homes for sale dropped 8.5% last year. The lower mortgage rates, combined with fewer available properties, caused would-be buyers to bid up prices. Mike Hemp in Washington.
A gang of thieves set up barriers of burning vehicles and spilled nails on a highway near Milan in a bid to rob an armored vehicle, but were foiled when the driver evaded their traps. The La Presse news agency in Italy says the assailants fled the scene and remain at large. News and analysis at townhall.com. Authorities say a Connecticut man charged with murdering his estranged wife was hospitalized in critical condition after being found unresponsive in a vehicle inside his garage. Farmington Police Lieutenant Timothy McKenzie says they were asked to do a welfare check on murder suspect Fotis Doulos and found him suffering from carbon monoxide poisoning.
When officers responded, they could see through a window that Mr. Doulos was sitting in his vehicle, and he had obvious signs of medical distress.
Mackenzie's comments were aired on WFSB TV. Doulos and his wife, Jennifer Doulos, were going through bitter divorce and child custody proceedings when she vanished months ago. Britain has decided to let Huawei have a limited role in supplying new high-speed mobile gear to wireless carriers. The Chinese tech company will also be banned from the network's sensitive core. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Pride Plumbing is proud to serve Moore County with superior workmanship and dependable plumbing service, including 24/7 emergency service. Like the name says, we take pride in our work and your safety. Our employees must pass background and drug tests and share Pride Plumbing's reputation for quality service. From simple leaky faucets to new water heaters and sewer lines, backflow testing and installation, drain cleaning, plumbing repairs, and, if necessary, replacement and remodeling. A family business with over 50 years of prideful service. Go online to callprideplumbing.com and check out our 5-star customer reviews. We offer a 10% discount to all veterans and active military. Call Pride Plumbing of Moore County at 910-295-0152. 910-295-0152. Serving with pride since 1965.
Cooper Ford in Carthage knows that a fair weather friend isn't really a friend at all. That's why Aaron Cooper wants you to know that when you buy a vehicle from Cooper Ford, they're in it for the long haul. Cooper Ford will be with you every step of the way, from start to finish, and help you choose the vehicle that's right for you at a price that's right for your budget. And Cooper Ford's commitment doesn't stop there. This long-haul commitment includes certified service after the sale. At Cooper Ford, they know that your time and money is precious, and they promise not to waste either. Aaron Cooper also wants you to remember that you can't buy a new Ford for less anywhere else in the Sandhills, and that's a guarantee. So start the new year off right with a new car, truck, or SUV from Cooper Ford, each equipped with the Cooper Ford promise to do what they say, when, and how they say they're going to do it. Just a short drive from the traffic circle, just off 15501 in Carthage. Or start shopping today on the web at cooperford.net. Cooper Ford, always working hard to be your hometown dealer.
Donuts so heavenly you'd think they were made by angels. Southern Angel Donut Company is now open for your heavenly pleasure in Olmsted Village behind the First National Bank. And the angels are up daily at 3 a.m. making donuts the old-fashioned way, preparing holy taste bud delights like the maple bacon donut or their special apple fritters. And hey, Southern Angel Donuts make great business icebreakers because who doesn't like a great donut? Give Southern Angel Donuts a try today. Open 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily.
For more than 100 years, Pines Funerals has been there for Moore County families when they needed us most. We continue to build on tradition of trust by serving all your funeral and memorial needs from any of our convenient locations. Nestled in 15 acres of wooded landscape along Morganton Road, Pine Lawn Memorial Park offers memorial gardens, mausoleums, a chapel, and a beautiful brand new funeral and cremation center slated for completion in 2020. For free, pre-planning information, or to schedule a tour, call Pines Funerals at 910-947-2224 or visit pinesfunerals.com today.
NCN News. I'm Mike Haley. The Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says that he does not have the votes at this time to block Democrats from calling witnesses in President Donald Trump's impeachment trial after some Republicans are having second thoughts after allegations from former National Security Advisor John Bolton that the president linked withholding aid to Ukraine to investigations into the Bidens. CBS News correspondent Nancy Cordes reports from Capitol Hill.
One senior administration official who's been deeply involved in impeachment strategy put it at DEFCON 2. The White House now has just a couple of days to try to limit the number of Republicans who cross party lines.
2 members of the East Carolina University Board of Trustees have been accused of violations of the University of North Carolina system policy. The trustees face expulsion after allegations of funding an SGA campaign. WNCT's Amber Joseph says
they also offered to use their positions to obtain student information that could be used in the students' campaign. These allegations are in violation of the UNC system policy.
The Trump administration is thinking of suspending all U.S. flights to and from mainland China in the wake of the health crisis in Wuhan. A flight carrying Americans landed overnight in Anchorage, Alaska, where passengers were screened and the plane was refueled. It's now headed to March Air Force Base in Moreno Valley, east of Los Angeles.
CBS News correspondent Carter Evans reports.
A quick search on social media shows a lot of people in this area were concerned and actually scared, mistakenly thinking that this flight was arriving full of sick people. That is not the case.
Salisbury police now say a Livingstone College quarterback is paralyzed and 3 other students were injured after a weekend shooting at a restaurant in Salisbury. Salisbury police say a total of 6 people were shot. North Carolina's Attorney General has come out against expanding online sales by the state lottery, saying certain games may be illegal. You're listening to NCN News.
The decision to get a divorce was tough, but we knew it was for the best. And even though it's been difficult, we were able to minimize the time, stress, and money that often comes with the divorce process. We chose One Stop Divorce because it's affordable, simple, and 500,000 other couples have used it successfully. See for yourself at onestopdivorce.com. With One Stop Divorce, we didn't have to pay any attorney fees, just a flat fee of $299. All we needed was a computer, laptop, or smartphone, and they guided us through the process. Just visit onestopdivorce.com to see how it works. Even if you already have an attorney, you can save money on the paperwork by using One Stop Divorce. After all, why pay an attorney hourly to file divorce papers when you can do it yourself for just $299? Divorce is tough as it is. To save time and money, visit onestopdivorce.com. That's onestopdivorce.com. One Stop is not a law firm and does not provide legal advice.
President Donald Trump unveiled his long-awaited Middle East peace plan yesterday, bringing simmering tensions into the region back to the surface.
Palestinians are angry about President Trump's peace plan because it offers Israel large parts of the West Bank.
Who is Trump? Who gave him permission to give our land to Israel? It is our land.
Many Israelis are concerned that the plan calls for a Palestinian state. Israel intends to annex parts of the West Bank, raising fears of a new round of violence.
Hundreds of North Carolinians are about to get their money back. A Florida payday lender accused of preying on people in desperate need of a car reached a big settlement with the Attorney General. Josh Stein tells Fox 46 in Charlotte.
They were lending money, offering money for loan online for 200% interest rates. Outrageous loan shark interest rates in violation of North Carolina law. And then they were demanding that the borrower put up the car title as collateral, so that if you had trouble paying the loan, they would snatch your car and sell it.
The former president of the union representing workers at the massive Smithfield Foods plant in eastern North Carolina has pleaded guilty to helping embezzle more than $200,000 of the local chapter's money. Keith Ludlam of Bladenboro pleaded guilty Tuesday. The Justice Department is on the case of 2 companies that may have facilitated hundreds of millions of robocalls.
U.S. prosecutors seeking restraining orders against one New York and one Arizona-based firm. No criminal charges yet. The Wall Street Journal reports officials may seek jail time or monetary penalties later, but their first priority is turning off the taps. Many, if not most, robocalls originate outside the U.S., beyond the reach of U.S. law. Targeting the U.S.-based companies facilitating the calls is a new and the government hopes more effective way of fighting them. Vicki Barker, CBS News.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
We have a fast-moving storm system that is moving well to the south of us. However, we're likely to see rain chances kick up, not for this afternoon, but for this evening and tonight, mainly for our counties to the west and off towards the south. We can anticipate gradual clearing by the time we get into tomorrow morning. Highs for today will head into the mid-40s as well as lower 50s. By tomorrow, we're looking at temperatures in the mid-40s and lower 50s by the afternoon with rain clearing out. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
Right now, here in the Sand Hills area, we're freezing. 32 degrees, cloudy skies, humidity 92%, dew point 30, pressure is 3012, winds calm, visibility 10 statute miles. It's 8:13. Let's take a look at your Sand Hills news for this Wednesday hump day. The town of Southern Pines now accepting 2020 Citizen Academy applications. The goal of this program is to open conversation and communication and promote collaboration between residents and their government. The schedule covers 2 town programs, services, policies, procedures, and a behind-the-scenes look at how government operates. Sessions will be held March through May, with certificates awarded in June. In order to graduate from the academy, participants are expected to attend 4 out of 5 sessions on one board or council meeting and complete a final program evaluation. Applications for the program is required. Class size limited to 20. Acceptance will be based on a first-come, first-served basis. You may pre-register at a Southern Pines library or call 692-8235. Moore County Sheriff's Office would like once again to remind citizens about an ongoing scam activity in the county. Several callers to the Sheriff's Office have recently reported they have been contacted and advised that they have missed jury duty and are asked to call 910-722-9011. This is a spoof number and in no way associated with the Moore County Sheriff's Office. The department would like everyone to know that the Moore County Sheriff's Office would never ask any citizen to provide any financial information in order to avoid arrest. Moore County residents are urged to contact the Sheriff's Office at 910-947-2931 if they have any questions. And the Village of Pinehurst is in the process of assessing the community's need for library services, and they would like your input. As part of the needs assessment process, the village has launched a new survey on Engage Pinehurst, the village online resident engagement portal. The survey gives the residents a chance to provide feedback on what our community needs from its library. Go to Engage Pinehurst to take the survey today or pick up a paper copy at the front desk of the Village Hall on Magnolia Drive. Staff will provide the Village Council with all survey results after the survey period closes on February 28th. That's your WEEB local news this morning from the Sand Hill Sentinel, and you can always go online to sandhillsentinel.com for more information. It is 8:17, time for sports right here and right now here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. We start with college hoops, and Vernon Carey Jr. He put up a double-double for Duke, 26 points, 13 rebounds, and the 9th-ranked Blue Devils beat Pittsburgh 79-67 on a night when both teams honored Kobe Bryant during a pregame ceremony at Cameron Indoor Stadium. For Jeff Capel, it was his first game back at Cameron Indoor Stadium since he left the Blue Devils to take the head coaching job at Pitt. He talked about returning to his old stomping grounds.
Yeah, it was great being back, to be honest with you. And it was a little weird walking in here, completely different entrance, being dropped off at a different place, and just being in here, not with Duke. But once competition starts, man, it's competition. I'm not sure I had expectations. I was just really trying to concentrate on my team.
During the game, there was an eruption by Duke coach Mike Krzyzewski in the direction of his own fans. The Hall of Fame coach angered by the Cameron Crazies during a playful chant at Jeff Capel. Krzyzewski came across the court to scold the fans for chanting at the opposing coach, but Capel said he didn't really know what it was all about.
I heard him yell. I didn't know what he was yelling at. I didn't know what they were saying. I was locked into competition.
Other ACC games on Tuesday, Virginia knocked off number 5 Florida State 61-56. Clemson edged Syracuse. Georgia Tech mopped up Morehouse 82-54, and Miami topped Virginia Tech. Top 25 college basketball action. Number 8 Villanova beat St. John's. 16th ranked Butler topped Georgetown. 17th ranked Auburn topped Mississippi, and number 25 Rutgers, they got past Purdue 70-63. Last night, the Hornets paid tribute to Kobe Bryant with each player wearing an arm sleeve with Kobe's numbers 8 and 24. Then Terry Rozier scored 30 points, and the Charlotte Hornets rallied from a 13-point deficit to beat the Knicks 97-92 and snap a season-high 8-game losing streak. It's the first game the Hornets had won since January 4th. This is NCN Sports.
At AT&T, we believe that access to affordable home internet brings you incredible opportunities. You can enjoy the power to explore a digital world of possibilities and connect with family, friends, and the things that matter most. That's why there's access from AT&T. If a member of your household is a SNAP participant, you may qualify for home internet at a discounted rate of $10 a month or less. No commitment, no deposit, no installation fee. Plus, get an in-home Wi-Fi gateway included at no extra cost. Call 1-855-220-5211 or visit att.com/access now to learn more.
SNAP refers to the Federal Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Pricing excludes taxes and fees. Includes 1 terabyte of data per month.
Data overage charges apply. For details about data allowance, go to att.com/internet-usage. Geographic and service restrictions apply.
The Panthers are bringing back Chase Blackburn as a special teams coordinator. Blackburn spent the last 2 seasons in the same role under former head coach Ron Rivera, but was on an expiring contract. Blackburn has some history with new Panthers coach Matt Rule. They spent time together in 2012 with the New York Giants when Blackburn was a linebacker and Rule worked as an assistant offensive lines coach. In Miami, festivities are high for Sunday's Super Bowl. 49ers quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo, who used to play backup for Tom Brady, was all smiles during media night. He told Inside Edition, "It feels great to be gearing up for the big game."
What's the best advice Tom Brady ever gave you?
He would always tell me, have fun, enjoy the moment.
And how's it feel to be sitting right there? What's this like?
Feels great, baby.
Coverage of the Super Bowl begins at 6:30 on Sunday night on Fox. Josh, Zach, NCN Sports.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free.
Pride Plumbing is proud to serve Moore County with superior workmanship and dependable plumbing service, including 24/7 emergency service. Like the name says, we take pride in our work and your safety. Our employees must pass background and drug tests and share Pride Plumbing's reputation for quality service. From simple leaky faucets to new water heaters and sewer lines, backflow testing and installation, drain cleaning, plumbing repairs, and, if necessary, replacement and remodeling. A family business with over 50 years of prideful service. Go online to callprideplumbing.com and check out our 5-star customer reviews. We offer a 10% discount to all veterans and active military. Call Pride Plumbing of Moore County at 910-295-0152. 910-295-0152. Serving with pride since 1965.
Donuts so heavenly you'd think they were made by angels. Southern Angel Donut Company is now open for your heavenly pleasure in Olmsted Village behind the First National Bank. And the angels are up daily at 3 a.m. making donuts the old-fashioned way, preparing holy taste bud delights like the maple bacon donut or their special apple fritters. And hey, Southern Angel Donuts make great business icebreakers because who doesn't like a great donut? Give Southern Angel Donuts a try today. Open 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily.
Hello, this is Debbie Serino, owner of Weichert Realtors Town & Country. Whether you're looking to sell your home now or at some time in the future, why not let the experts at Weichert prepare you so that when you are ready, you will experience the results you deserve. Nothing but the best. One of our recent sales was a home that had been on the market with another firm for a year. Our clients came to us looking for better results. We listed the home on Friday and it sold on Saturday. Would you like to know how we did it? Give us a call at 910-235-3685. Our marketing plan has proven time and time again to produce the results you need. We sell more because we do more. Call us 910-235-3685.
Weichert Realtors Town & Country, located at the corner of Rattlesnake and McCaskill Road East. Independently owned and operated.
IHOP on 15501 near Wells Fargo in Southern Pines is now open at 6 a.m. 7 days a week. Friday and Saturday, IHOP is open 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. Hey, did you hear that, night owls? Till 2 a.m. Then Sunday from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Google IHOP Southern Pines NC and click on menu. There's something for everyone. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, including a great menu for the kids. And plenty of parking behind the IHOP building on 15501. So hop on over to IHOP in the Southern Pines.
I just love IHOP.
I'm Republican Arthur Donadio, and I'm running for district attorney. Since moving here in 1996, I've spent 24 years as either prosecutor or private attorney serving our community. Now I'm back in the DA's office, and our DA is retiring. She, along with dozens of law enforcement officers and courthouse personnel, have asked me to run to take her place. I'm honored by their faith, and I'm answering their call. The people who know my work know that I'm a fighter with the skill and experience to prosecute everything from DWIs to murder, and the compassion to understand when a kid needs a second chance. Talk to your friends and neighbors. Talk to police officers, judges, deputies, and court clerks. They know me. They know my character and my commitment. Starting with early voting on February 13 and finishing with the primary election on March 3rd, you, the voters, will determine the course of justice for Moore and Hope counties. I'm not the slick politician who just arrived, but I'm a professional who's quietly dedicated his career to helping folks. So I'm asking you, vote Donadio for district attorney. Thanks for listening, and God bless you. Paid for by Donadio for district attorney.
War Dog's Army Surplus Store in Southern Pines is Southern Pines' #1 surplus store. Serving the Fort Bragg area, we buy, sell, and trade military, tactical, outdoor clothing, and gear. We are your military surplus low-price leader and take pride in serving our local military members and communities. Bring us your military gear because we pay more and sell for less than anyone in the area, guaranteed. At War Dogs, we make it our top priority to provide quality, high-end tactical gear at the lowest prices. Come in today and bring your used gear or check out our massive inventory, the largest in Southern Pines. We're open Monday through Friday, 10:30 until 5:30 and 11 to 4 on Saturday. We're located at 675 Southwest Broad Street in Southern Pines, right across the street from Beefeaters. Or give us a call at 910-920-7749. That's 920-7749. War Dogs.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in the Zumwalt Zone. I'd like to tell you about a fellow named Albert Wilson. He never really did anything spectacular, and I'd be surprised if many people even know who he was. He was an Army veteran. He held the lowest rank a man could hold at that time. Anybody know what that rank might be? Albert's dad was killed during the same war that Albert served in. Albert marched in the New York City Memorial Day Parade. That was in May of 1949. He helped lay a wreath at the tomb of the general he had served under, General Ulysses S. Grant. Albert held the rank of drummer boy. His dad had been killed in the Battle of Shiloh. When Albert died, he was the last undisputed survivor of the Civil War. He was 106 years old, and he died in 1956. A lot of us were alive when Albert passed. This man served during the Civil War. He was alive during World War I, World War II, and Korea. He saw the age of horses turn into the age of cars and airplanes. Can you imagine being alive in 1956 and being at a bar and telling people you'd served in the Union Army as a drummer boy? Well, who'd believe that? Our history's young. Just go back 2 or 3 generations. If you're my age, your grandparents came of age in World War I. They were alive when Wyatt Earp walked the earth. He died in 1929. Sad, we're losing our history. There's no one left to dispute what these scholars are writing. I hope you have a good day, everybody. From the Zumwalt Zone.
This afternoon, we're likely to see those clouds build in for us, and high temperatures will head into the mid-40s and lower 50s. A few scattered showers will be possible, especially for our western and southern counties as we get into the night. Otherwise, gradual clearing will take shape by tomorrow morning. Highs by the afternoon on Thursday will top in the mid-40s and lower 50s. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills #1 morning show. Mornings with the leader man. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
Today's show is brought to you by the tone of voice in your head. You know what I'm talking about. In your mind, when you're talking, you sound like this. But in reality, your voice probably sounds more like this. Take a breath and think before you spew. You'll thank me later.
It's the Super Bowl! Super Bowl 54. The San Francisco 49ers taking on the Kansas City Chiefs.
Few things that you can always expect during Super Bowl week. Lots of parties.
And the party doesn't stop.
Many of you will be hosting a Super Bowl party this weekend.
That's going to be a touchdown.
Touchdown, Jesus.
The ultimate football weekend.
Touchdown, Jesus.
San Francisco, they'll be facing Kansas City in the Super Bowl in Miami.
And it's time for the Super Bowl of football games, the Super Bowl. So let's celebrate it.
It's Wednesday. Hump Day.
Hump Day, am I right, buddy?
Are you sure?
Wednesday's tough.
Let's get back to work.
Can't someone else do it?
Someone else do it.
Hey, this is your job.
This is your job.
Are you sure? I mean, come on.
No, that's your job.
Yeah, but excuse me.
Are you an entertainer?
Yeah, but...
Yeah, but shut up. Entertain me.
It's showtime.
One of a kind, love affair is the kind of love that you read about in a fairy tale. Like the sun that shines on a rainy day, it's a cloud of love. One of a kind, love affair.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sand Hills. It is time once again for Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams, along with the Colonel, retired Marine Colonel Jeff Drummond. Good morning, Colonel.
Hey, good morning, Moore County. Good morning, unfortunate Aberdeen, as the failing pilot, racist pilot, lying pilot would call you and does call you. Hey, it's prepackaged trash day in the Pines, so go down there and get that intellectually bereft pile of prepackaged poison and get it out of your driveway. Maybe you need to wear some gloves when you pick it up.
Don't forget, of course, we are being heard and seen around the world on our live video stream. That's available right now at talk973.com. Talk973.com. Go there and go to the top of the home page, and the link's right there to watch us. If you're on your mobile device, fire up YouTube and put Mornings with the Leader Man in the search. If you're on your mobile device looking for a way to just listen to our audio stream, that's easy. You get a streaming app such as TuneIn, iTunes, or Streama, and put WEEB in the search. And then our results will pop up at the top, and you click on the one with our icon, and you'll listen to our stream. If you're on our website at talk973.com, well, you just go there, go to the upper right-hand corner of any of our web pages, and there you'll see an icon that says, On the Air, Listen Live. Click it once and you're listening just that quick. Partly cloudy today, high of 51. Tonight, mostly cloudy, an isolated shower can be ruled out. A low of 35. Thursday, partly cloudy and 51. Friday, a 30% chance of scattered showers. Otherwise, partly cloudy and 50. Right now around the Sand Hills, winds are calm, visibility 10 statute miles. Pressure is 3012, dew point 30, humidity 92%. It's cloudy and still 32 degrees here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Another thing it is Wednesday, hump day, and of course, riding in on that as he does every week is John Zumwalt. Welcome in, John.
Good morning, Steve, and good morning, everyone. I always feel like I have to say this after hearing your professional radio voice. The next thing folks hear is my old Texas drawl. After living here in this county that I dearly love, Moore County in North Carolina, I still have my Texas drawl, and I just always am more aware of it when I'm on the radio speaking to folks. But in spite of that, Steve still lets me come on, and I've got to say something. It's not said on this radio station enough. I don't think I've ever heard Steve say it, and probably not Jeff. And that is this. This station has been very controversial. Steve has raised, long before I got here, and many, many issues that you would not have known about otherwise. We still continue to raise these very controversial issues. Why? Because we're merely reporting the truth. You rarely hear us say anything without it being backed up, unless it's our opinion about someone's character. Now, you don't hear this just any place. We often talk about our newspaper here in town, the pathetic pilot, and it is pathetic. Let me compare the two of us. Steve can lose advertising just as quick as anyone. He's never flinched. He's never backed down. He's made some very, very influential people in this community mad. So has Jeff, and certainly so have I. What is our motive for doing this? We have no motive. We believe that the truth should be known. We believe that we should speak frankly. None of the three of us are going to back down from one word that we've spoken unless someone can tell us and show us that, no, you made a mistake. And I've done that on here. I've done it live, and it was embarrassing, but I corrected myself right on the spot. We have no motivation just for you to be directed to the truth. And I hope that you'll continue to listen. I honestly don't believe that there's another station that can do this or will do it. And of course, this is the home of Rush Limbaugh and Sean Hannity and Mark Levin, and we're just little teeny folks compared to those great broadcasters. Now, I'm going to start off a little bit different, and then I'm going to go into some of the elections. But I talked today on the ZZ about about there are no more Civil War veterans left. I want to throw this question to you two guys. Do you know how many, and I'm going to ask you in the radio audience too to think quickly, how many World War I veterans do you think are left?
Right now?
Right now.
It's a handful. It's no more than 3 or 4, if I remember correctly.
That's what I would have said too, and the truth of the matter is that there are exactly 0 left. There are none. Yeah. The last one was a guy named Wood Buckles. That was his real name. His parents had a sense of humor, I guess. Wood Buckles. And he was he wanted to join the Navy, but they wouldn't take him because he had flat feet. And then the Marines wouldn't take him because he said he was too small. You remember the Marines, the guys who have standards. They wouldn't take Audie Murphy either because he was too small. Right. And for those of you who are too young to remember, he's a great, great hero of World War II. But this guy, I just got to tell you a little something about the last guy who died in World War I, or the last survivor. He drove an ambulance near the Western Front, and the reason he did that was because they told him that was the quickest way to get in combat. And he suffered over the years for the things he saw while he was up there. During World War II, you ready for this? He was a civilian in the Philippines, worked in logistics. He was a prisoner of war of the Japanese for 3 years. He died in 2011 at the age of 110. And here's my favorite part about it. They asked him, what's the secret to living so long there, Wood Buckles? And he said, there are 2 parts. Now, the second part's the most important. Here's the first part. He said, being hopeful and not hurrying were key traits. And then he added, and this is the part, this is the real key to it, and I think if you do this, you'll survive. He said, when you start to die, don't. So that's a pretty good way. So my advice is, if you feel like you're about to die, well, don't. Right. And that came from him. All right. Now, World War II veterans, there are 400,000 plus. That sounds like a lot. But that's only 3% of the ladies and men who fought in World War II. And
16 million, over 16 million in arms. Yeah.
We lose about 350 a day, give or take. And, of course, that number will go up the older they get. And again, I want to say that's why it's so important for us to record history correctly and not allow the folks that are trying to rewrite our history to revise it. We're losing these folks who are witnesses very, very quickly. I'm going to talk about some candidates for some of the elections that we have coming up. Let me let me make an announcement. You can meet a whole lot of these candidates on February the 1st at 6 o'clock p.m. at the VFW building in Southern Pines. Now, the Special Forces Association, of which I'm a member, is going to host this. If any candidate wants to go speak to them, they're invited. And even if you have not been contacted, we hope you'll contact them. And it'll be a good chance to hear your...
What about the public?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. The public is most definitely not just invited, but encouraged to attend. And the Special Forces Association meeting starts at 6, but being the kind of guys that we are, it'll last 15, 20 minutes. We don't sit around and talk forever, so it'll be just a very quick meeting, and then you and the candidates will come in. Vic will meet you at the bar area, Vic Allen, and then he'll escort you back when the meeting's over. It's a very nice, pleasant bar. You can get a drink, or you can get a soft drink if you'd like, and just hang around and wait, and it'll be a great time. Very, very, very laid back and informal. So I hope you'll consider that. February the 1st, 6 p.m. Anyone who wants to hear any candidate that it will be attending. And we're going to have, I understand there'll be quite a few there. All right. Let's talk about our primary a little bit on March 3rd. And that's on Tuesday, of course. President Trump's name will be on that ballot, but it's almost a joke because we know that he's going to win the primary. I couldn't even tell you who the 2 other candidates are. I've looked, but it doesn't matter. The governor, and I hope you 2 guys will jump in and when you disagree with me here, and because you're going to on at least one occasion. Our current governor is Roy Cooper. He's a Democrat. Dan Forrest is running for governor. He's a very, very strong conservative. Education, the Second Amendment are on his mind. Leadership, great leader. And I hope that I'm pulling for
Well,
for Dan Forrest.
This is for the primary.
For the primary.
Yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
Cooper's not, it depends on which ballot you take, the Democrat.
Yeah,
or the
if you're well, they won't even be in the.
Yeah, the same.
Cooper won't even be in the primary.
Right.
If you're a Republican, you'll vote for.
If you take the Republican
That's
ballot,
correct.
yeah, you're looking for Dan Forrest. And
No.
yeah, I'm hoping that he'll come out and say, hey, Florida, DeSantis down there in Florida just said, hey, this, what do they call that garbage they teach in school? The overarching term for that, he just threw all that out, the Common Core.
Common Core, yeah.
Yeah, he just said, hey, we're off of Common Core down here in Florida. I'm hoping Forrest will come out and say, hey, we're going to do away with Common Core in North Carolina, too.
So, I very much encourage folks to vote for Dan Forrest. He's running against Holly Grange in the primary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's move on. Lieutenant Governor, that's going to be a little bit tougher race. There are 9 candidates.
Wow, yeah.
And we've interviewed several of them on here.
Had some good ones, too.
Had some really good ones. I'm not a fan of Renee Elmers. All of you may be. I don't think that she did right by Moore County.
No.
When she represented us, she's been on this radio program. She was able to present herself. I would never endorse her. We've had some really good candidates. John Ritter, who's our local attorney here, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet.
At Seven Lakes, yeah.
Yep, and speaks very well. I saw him the other night at a Tea Party meeting, and he went blow for blow with Greg Gephardt. Now, Greg Gephardt's a young guy and military fellow, major, West Point graduate, and an excellent speaker, a lot of experience. And when he would speak, I would think, now how in the world is John Ritter going to answer that? And John would get up and just, in the most nice way, very pleasant smile, would answer him. And it was just a kind of a fun little debate they had. And so, and then we've got Buddy Bingle, remember him, the baseball owner?
Right.
And
he was, they were all good.
We've got Mark Robinson, the YouTube sensation, the guy who's a Second Amendment guy.
Right.
So it's going to be a tough race, a very tough race. The first one on the ballot is John Ritter. That'll be an advantage. And the name John Ritter will be an advantage. And he'll have home court advantage. He's here. He's a local guy. And
Moore County, yeah.
No one will ever say anything about him except what a great guy he is and how confident he is. So wish them all luck, the good ones, and I wish John a lot of luck. I'm not qualified. I don't think I have enough information to really endorse anyone except that.
Who are the other candidates that you haven't mentioned?
Well, I mentioned Renee Elmers, John Ritter, Buddy Bingle, Mark Robinson, Greg Gephardt. Oh, and don't let me forget Mark Johnson. He's the current state superintendent of education, or whatever the correct term is.
Well, there's another one.
Yeah, there is, and I don't know that. I don't have it written down here.
Oh. Because I like what he has to say. I'm trying to remember his...
No, they've all been...
I want to say Wells, but I'm not sure that's correct.
Okay, it's Ritter, Robinson, Stone, Wells, Andy Wells.
Okay, Andy Wells.
Buddy Bingle, Deborah Cochran, Renee Elmers, Greg Gephardt, and Mark Johnson. So again, you have to do your research and figure that one out. That's a tough one.
There's some great candidates.
There are really some good candidates there.
So far, I'm leaning on Wells because of what he's saying, particularly about sanctuary sheriffs.
Yeah, Wells.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I remember that one.
Wells would be good, and I like Buddy, I like Greg, and I like John Ritter. So I'm not prepared to.
It's hard.
I've not made my mind up yet.
It's going to be hard.
The Attorney General is pulling for Josh Stein. I don't know a lot. I mean, Jim O'Neill. Sorry, folks, don't cut your radios off. Jim O'Neill. I don't know a lot about him, but what I do know, and from having spoken with him several times, he seems like a good, conservative, solid, constitutional man who wants to be the same kind of Attorney General. Any thoughts on y'all's?
No, I haven't really been in tune with any of those two, or with either of those two.
Well, here's one that most people don't keep up with. Now, the three of us are up with it because we've interviewed this fella for Secretary of State. Now, most people don't even really know what Secretary of State does, but we interviewed E.C. Sykes on this program, and I've been to several meetings where he's spoken, and I've also spoken with him one-on-one at lunch. And I believe E.C. Sykes will be an excellent Secretary of State. He's running against the Democrat, I should say, is Elaine Marshall, and she's been the Secretary of State since 1997. That's too long, folks. I don't.
That's when she ran against Richard Petty, who thought it was a shoe-in, and he lost.
See, here's the thing. I went and got my she's the one that controls all of the public.
The LLCs and corporations.
Yeah, and all of that stuff, and certifies your not the power of attorney, but the stamps that go on the bottom. Who does that?
Notary.
Stuff? The notary stuff. Jeez, I'm just flipping out here this morning. But she controls all the notaries.
Oh, that was the Marine Colonel.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But at any rate, she controls all the notaries, and she has been certifying notaries who are illegal immigrants, etc. And it's just not right. It's against the law. And of course, nobody will do anything because you have a Democrat in the governor's seat and all that. But these people are notarizing all kinds of things that shouldn't be done.
All right. Now, what Jeff just said, I hope you got that, and I hope this is one of those things I hope you'll Google because they sound too unbelievable to be true. This lady is creating positions where illegal aliens become notaries. Is that unbelievable? Or is it not? And yet she still gets elected.
Yeah, she does.
So E.C. Sykes is the guy that
your state's attorney will do nothing about it, and your governor will do nothing.
That's right. Your attorney general and your governor. Here's one a little closer to home. District 52 primary will be between Jamie Bowles, who's our current legislator in District 52. He's been there for, I'm not sure, 10 plus years. And we've got Chief of Police here in Southern Pines, Bob Timme. That's T-E-M-M-E, Timme. And they're both running. Jamie's been but just about unbeatable in times past. Chief Bob Timme is very popular, conservative. I can't really think of anything bad to say about Timme. I've got nothing but praise for him. And of course, I pull against Bowles and have for several years. I've run Jamie down enough on this radio station. He's been invited to come on I don't know how many times. Timmy's been invited on. He comes every time, and he'll be back. And, of course, Bowles is always welcome. You'll be able to see them both at the VFW on February the 5th. I'm not sure if they'll come out to the one on the 1st, but Bob will, for certain, Bob Timme. So I just say that without a shadow of a doubt, I'm pulling for Bob Timme for District 52. And we've got to get Jamie Bowles out of there. This is not personal. It's just strictly a matter of who would do the best job as our legislator. District Court judge is only one person I could consider, and that was Judge Steve Bybee. I say Judge Steve Bybee because he was our judge. He was the victim of some redistricting, and he was also the victim of the sheriff's son, the old sheriff, not the current sheriff.
Shenanigans
of running his son against him, and it split the vote, and he lost. He's a great man, former police officer. He's a veteran. He's a strong Christian, and he's got a backbone, and he stands up for America and the Constitution and what's right. Steve Bybee. Years of experience as a judge. We need him back in that seat. Now, here comes a tough one. This is the one we're going to argue on.
We're not going to argue. We discuss. We have logical discussions here.
Okay.
This
is where you realize why I'm right and John's wrong.
This isn't an editorial in the pilot. This is
all right. Well,
discussion.
Let me get my part out, and then you guys can come in. I mean, Steve can come in whenever he wants. Steve is in the position he can cut my mic off anytime he wants to, and get me out of here. We've got a county commission race. Very tough one. Very tough call for me. We've got Ron Jackson, strong businessman, no nonsense. He's been fighting on the outside, trying to get things done. He's a bulldog. He will not let go once he gets on. He speaks his mind. I can only hope that Ron Jackson and men like him will continue to run, because we're never, ever going to find better men than him to run for any office in this community. I am going to have to stick with my friend, Louis Gregory. Let me tell you why, folks. Louis has taken a stand. I realize he's been there a long time, and he's gone with the board and the school board. He's taken a stand. He's pledged to fight, and he didn't just pledge to do it. He is fighting. He's fighting the school budget. If you read the pathetic pilot, you can see that even they got that one right, and probably because they're trying to ruin him. But he stood up against the school board and against all the other commissioners, and stood up and said, "No, enough is enough. We want to give the schools anything they want, but it's time we started looking at what we're giving them." We've been asking for that for a long time, and when Lewis stands up, and you may say finally stands up, I don't care. When he stands up and does that, he needs our support. I just don't feel like I can leave him running up that hill, charging up that hill by himself. And I want to say also, I have not talked to the other commissioners, but I do know that Louis Gregory is a very strong supporter of the Second Amendment, and that will be very, very important here in a little bit if I have time to talk about it also. So let me bring the other two in, and you can turn your radios down for a minute and get a cup of coffee.
Well, I support Ron Jackson. Ron Jackson, too, is a staunch Second Amendment man. He's a large builder here in Moore County, meaning in residential homes. He's the largest residential home builder. But he's out here fighting our government every day. And when I say fighting, all these things that get passed by our commissioners, he has to live with in his business on a daily basis. So he knows what works and what doesn't work. And he knows what is the waste of money and what isn't. And he also, going over to Lewis has been on that board now for 4 years. And in 4 years, all he has, like all the other 5, have been a yes man. And that's why we got $103 million in debt. That's why every time we turn around, the school board's coming back at us for more money. And nobody's asking why. Now Lewis comes up under pressure for the election and says, "Oh, I promise I'm going to get tough on the school board." And he makes one comment, in the paper about, "Oh, the paint's spilling here. I saw that paint spilling 4 years ago. Why isn't it fixed?" Well, that's on you, Lewis. Why isn't it fixed? If you saw it, it was a big deal to you, you would have marched through and done something about it. But you didn't. And you control the purse strings. And, you say now you're going to get tough on the school board, but you're just $4 million. You're 4 years and $103 million too late, if you ask me. So I got no sympathy for you, and I'm going to go with Ron Jackson because I know what? He's going to get a hold of these issues, and he's going to shake it up, and he will push hard for you and me. He's like, sort of like Trump. He's going to fight for me and you, and quit fighting to go along to get along with the bureaucrats.
He's like Trump without the tweets.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
he's a very humble man.
I would agree with you. It's you say $103 million. I'd say it's more like $150 million under the wasted because.
Yeah.
As Nick Pacerno has pointed out here numerous times, there was plenty of money there allocated to build these things before that bond was passed, and it's gone. It's spent on other things. So, yeah, I would agree with you. I think it's time for some new blood.
We also got Louis Gregory, who was in Whispering Pines, and the only reason he moved to Seven Lakes because he knew Nick was not going to run, and so he moved in his district, hoping to have a better shot of winning. And the first time he got elected, he was the only one on the ballot. So he coasted in, and now he's got some competition. And now he wants to get tough. Well, it's 4 years too late as far as I'm concerned.
$43,000 paint job, and he's going to make a point on that.
Yeah.
We're tens of millions of dollars past that.
Here I am back, ladies and gentlemen. John Zumwalt, formerly of the Zumwalt Zone. And you heard it right here. Steve and the Colonel strongly endorsing Louis Gregory.
Ron Jackson.
Yeah. Well,
look, it was a rational discussion. You laid out the points, and you're going to have to make a decision. You're going to have to look at it.
I don't want to leave Louis hanging when he's... I know the Bob mob's going to be trying to hurt him. So let's move on. We've got a very, very, very important school primary coming up, and that's in District 2. We've got to, no matter what, we've got to vote out Wallen Miller. she is a big reason why we have such problems in our schools. And if we don't vote her out very strongly and send a message, we're going to keep having this kind of thing happen. Robert Levy is running against her, an attorney, former school teacher, a man who is very forceful, but yet listens, and it seems unassuming until you cross him and you see he's very much willing to stand up with a spine and very eloquently defend his positions and does not back down. We've got to get rid of Wallen Miller. Say a vote for Robert Levy. In District 4, well, any disagreement here?
Oh, no, absolutely not. Wallen Miller wrote an article about the hazards of lead, and she knows about it. She's known about it for years. And, hey, fact, lead in the soil at the Aberdeen school site. So, Helen Wallen Miller, hey, what's wrong with you?
Well, and that lead in the soil is according to the Phase 2 study that they commissioned. Yeah. And there's no doubt, we didn't make this up. John Nagy is I'll come back to him if I have time.
He's not worth
if I have time.
Talking about our buddy Johnny.
So we want her out. District 4 is a fellow named Philip Holmes, and we'll have him on the show soon. I've got to go with Philip as an endorsement, and we'll have him on to talk about what he thinks, what he believes, and that way you'll get to know more about him. The most contentious race, I believe, the one that is going to get the dirtiest, because the outside swamp is coming in and making it dirty and trying to...
district attorney.
That's district attorney. Maureen Kruger is retiring. At the end of this term, she'll be retiring. Her last day will be the last day of January, or rather December. So she's got a year to go. We've got her choice. Person that she works with has been an ADA assistant district attorney for her in her office, and a person that she's been also been a defense attorney with, Arthur Donadio, will be on this radio station, in fact, trying to earn your vote and telling you the truth about the different issues that they're throwing out. And the district attorney...
Have you got a date on him?
No date on him yet.
Okay.
Mike Harden is coming in from Hope County. Mike's been a lifelong Democrat until he changed to become to run for judge over in Fayetteville. We'll talk a lot about him. We've got to be very careful. We've got some really good, strong, wonderful, conservative Republicans in Hope County. Mike has been a Democrat there. And we need to keep the Democrat swamp out of Moore County. We've got two choices. Moore County DA's office can continue to be good and conservative and Republican, or we can bring in someone from outside and all his outside supporters and all his outside money with all our outside money billboards and TV commercials and things like that. So much more to talk about. I wanted to get to the bias, the extreme bias of the pilot. I didn't have time to get to it. The Fourth Estate used to be something that we looked up to. I remember those days, and that we admired, and that some of us aspired to be part of, and it's crumbled. I don't know what's happened to it. And the pilot's
if you want an extra Zumwalt zone and want to come back, you can
tomorrow
do that.
Oh, you hear that, folks? I'm going to be on Zumwalt zone tomorrow talking about Louis Gregory. Why should you vote for him? No, Steve. But yeah, I'll take you up on that.
All right. So let me know.
Okay. I'm letting you know.
All right. Anything else right quick? No. All right. Well, I'll close it out. So it goes for this. Is that my phone? Shut up. Jeez.
Yeah, here's the non-professional here.
So it goes for this Wednesday. Have yourself a great, safe day. We'll see you back bright and early tomorrow for a Thumping Thursday. Until then, be sure to support all the mom and pop businesses you hear on our airways, because they are the backbone of our economy here in Moore County. Your money will stay here, roll over, and create jobs for all of us. And don't forget, millions of Americans, they have fought and they have died to give and protect the freedoms that we get to enjoy today. So live today worthy of their and their families' sacrifice. I'm Steve Leader Adams, and the Leader Man, and Nick and Colt the Dog. We'll all see you this afternoon at the dog park.